Hello, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the YouTube channel, people. And yeah, we're doing something different today. Sorry, I streamed in a couple of days, but that's just because of other circumstances. I've been out basically most of the weekend anyway. Uh, well, not Saturday really, but uh, I wasn't gonna do a stream on Saturday's games in the FA Cup, and Sunday I was out. So I'm still doing a video. I've still kept to well, I've not even really kept to my word. I've kind of trapped myself into daily uploading or streaming. But we'll have a big stream for you guys tomorrow. So regardless, I think you guys will enjoy tomorrow's stream for sure. But I'm gonna react to the FA Cup quarter final draw. Make sure to leave a like on the video. Make sure to subscribe if you are new. We're trying to reach 1K subscribers before the season ends. And yeah, let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. So Fulham beat Manchester United on penalties today. I caught the penalty shootout. I didn't manage to catch the rest of the game, so I don't know how any player played. But obviously, Lindelof and Xerxes missed their penalties. And Fulham have beaten. I think I saw a stat about Fulham beating Manchester United in the first time in the FA Cup since 1908 or something. They don't really beat Manchester United as well. They don't really have a greatest record against them in general. Obviously, we saw them uh, lose to them 1-0 very narrowly by a deflected goal. But at the end of the day, Fulham didn't really do enough in that game to warrant a win either. So Fulham faced Crystal Palace, who beat the scum Millwall. Obviously, that challenge on Mateta was a disgrace, so hopefully he gets well soon and stuff. Um, Prior to South London and all that. But yeah, Palace comfortably beat Millwall. Even Nketiah scored, but I think he's found this level for sure. I think with Fulham versus Crystal Palace is a good opportunity for one of them to get to Wembley for sure. There's a lack of Big Six teams. In fact, there's only one Big Six team in this whole draw, being Manchester City, despite having their worst season, definitely under Pep Guardiola, but just in a while in general. This is pretty much their only chance to win a trophy. So if they don't win this, it'll be a disgrace for sure. That would be a very hard one to call. I think Fulham versus Palace. Fulham are the better team, but you never know with Palace because they can turn up on any day. If I'm assuming Mateta will be back by then as well. That will give them a massive boost. Uh, Mateta's been on form again this season, and to be honest, he's doing well because of the system, isn't he? He's doing well because he that Glasner rates him. I'm not sure he'd go to another club and replicate the same form, uh, but I don't know why he's been linked towards Manchester United and stuff. Uh, I don't think that's the answer, but however, he's doing really well in this system. So fair play to him. He's been very key. Eze's form has like been on the rise a bit. The return of the mighty midfielder that is Adam Wharton, one of the better one of the better like deeper line midfielders in the league for sure. Adam Wharton was someone I predicted to get into the team of the season, right at the start of the season, but obviously he picked up an injury, and then Glasner for some reason decided to play him with an injury, for whatever reason. But him being in the Palace team right now has really turned up their form as well. So that'll be an interesting fixture. Credit to Preston North End, they're the only non-Premier League team to make it to the quarterfinals. I'm looking down because it's on my phone, the fixtures and stuff. They beat Burnley 3-0. And people don't realise Burnley don't really concede goals. I don't think they conceded in like 9 matches in a row. A lot of those were 0-0 draws, don't get me wrong, but to score three, and one of them being your former player Robbie Brady, which was kind of crazy. That was interesting, but yeah, Preston got through, so they are at home against Aston Villa. You never know; it could be what's it called? Could be an upset. Could be an upset. Obviously, Aston Villa got over the line against Cardiff. Another Marco Asensio brace. So credit to him as well for, I guess, hitting the ground running at this current moment in time against for Aston Villa, sorry, but you expect Villa to get over the line in that. I don't know what the sides are to the draw, so I'm assuming whoever wins out of Fulham and Palace faces either Preston or Aston Villa. This is a really good opportunity for all the teams that don't really usually make finals and semi-finals to get into Wembley and win something. Speaking of that, Bournemouth, obviously they beat Wolves on penalties. Cunha getting a goal, then getting sent off. They come up against Manchester City. And obviously Man City actually struggled a little bit against Plymouth. Funny enough, going 1-0 down and just spamming crosses essentially until they got something. But both of the goals they scored were offset pieces, so it kind of tells you how much they struggled. Like outfield and stuff, outfield and in play, trying to break Plymouth down. Yeah, it's bad right now at Man City. I know they won against Tottenham. I know they haven't been as bad as they were earlier in the season, but it's still not great for their standard for sure. I just personally think that City fans probably want the season to end. The fact that you can potentially go trophyless is a legit travesty uh, for their standard of what they've set over the years. I guess you can allow them to take a year off because they've won four in a row. They won the treble nearly 2 seasons ago now, so fair play to them for doing that. But um, this isn't normal. This isn't normal. With Bournemouth, they haven't been on the greatest form as of recently. I didn't get to catch the Bournemouth Wolves game either, so I don't know how they played in that. But in the last couple of games, they haven't been on great form. However, they are capable of beating anyone on a one-off game. So that'll be tough to call as well. So that's going to be very, very interesting. And I don't remember the last time I saw. I don't think I've ever seen in my life Bournemouth in the FA Cup semi-final, let alone the final. Um, if I was to bank on it, whoever wins out of Bournemouth versus Manchester City for me is probably going to win the whole thing. Then again, Aston Villa very capable under Unai Emery. Emery's capable of winning a trophy. As much as I like Manchester City because of the alliance with West Ham, I would like to see uh, someone different to take a trophy home. As long as it's not fucking Palace, so can't stand their fans, and we can't have them winning anything because I literally made a video talking about how you know uh, they can't be talking to West Ham and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, one FA Cup doesn't mean they can, but it would have I'd have to give them credit, which I don't really want them. I don't really want to be completely honest. As objective as I am, I don't want to be objective, but I will be objective, sort of thing. Um, Brighton face either Nottingham Forest or Ipswich. Obviously, they play tomorrow at 8 p.m. So that'll be interesting. Obviously, Brighton scored right at the end, at extra time. I think Danny Welbeck scored. Danny Welbeck has not aged. Like I think it's even more impressive to be an anomaly like Danny Welbeck because usually when you see players get to that age with their injury record, they do not look the same every time they come back. Every time they come back, they do not look the same. But Danny Welbeck has really like come into it, man. He's really come into it. Like this season when he has played, he's been terrific. It's the rise of the 30-year-old strikers, the Jimenez's, the Welbecks, and the Chris Woods. Uh, they've taken the league by storm. And even in the FA Cup, they're rising. So it must hurt for Newcastle fans to concede to a former Sunderland player right at the end. I can't believe Danny Welbeck is still going, to be honest. Like this guy was playing for Sunderland when Asamoah Gyan was there, and Sebastian Larsson and Sessegnon, Steven Sessegnon. That was the Sunderland team he was playing in, and we're in 2025. He's still going, and yeah, fair play to the guy. Fair play to the guy. And I caught the first half of the Newcastle Brighton game, and it just looked like it was just like it was a bit of a mid off. Put it that way, it was a bit of a mid off. Isak limped off. Anthony Gordon also got suspended as well. I'm assuming that suspension gets overturned because I'm not sure that's a red. When I saw the challenge on Twitter, but at the same time, that means they could both be potentially missing a Carabao Cup final against Liverpool. Um, so they were missing Nick Pope in the previous Carabao Cup final. I don't think Newcastle fans could catch a break because of their trophy drought. This would be the time to end it, but we move. They lost in the FA Cup, and now they probably. Well, I think they were always going to lose the Carabao Cup final for me. But you never know with football. You never ever know. But just with the way Liverpool were going this season, you can't really see past them. I would actually like. I don't have anything against Liverpool, but I would like to see Newcastle win something. Not gonna lie, just for their fans. After all they've been through, Mike Ashley, I have sympathy because of what we've been through with GSB. So there you go. There you go. But Nottingham Forest or Ipswich tomorrow. That could be interesting. That could be interesting. Imagine Ipswich in a quarterfinal to have an opportunity to go into a semi-final. And Nottingham Forest have had an amazing season so far. Being in the top four, like nobody expected them to even be in the top 10. I'll be real. Not many people predicted them to be in the top 10. I predicted them to get relegated just to be different. And I got a lot of hate comments from Forest fans. And you know what? Rightly so. Rightly so. But I wanted to be different. I don't want to predict all three promoted teams to get relegated. But then again, that is literally what's going to happen. So there you go. I think Forest will get over the line against Ipswich. And they should get over the line against Brighton. But that would be an interesting quarterfinal, Brighton, Nottingham Forest. Because even though all the big six teams are out apart from City, there's still some good fixtures. There's still some good fixtures. Like Preston Villa will be good, Fulham Palace will be good, Bournemouth City will be good, and whoever Brighton face out Ipswich and Forest is going to be an open game, because that 2-2 they had in the early part of the season was really good to watch. And then obviously the 7-0 Brighton completely capitulated, but their manager got that all wrong with their lineup and the structure of the midfield, but also the Brighton players were constantly just making mistakes, and Verbruggen pretty much giving Forest half of the goals. But yeah, that'll be interesting. That'll be interesting. All those games. So yeah, make sure to leave a like on the video, people. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. Social medias are in the description if you want to follow me. The email for the inquiries. Let me know what you guys think about the FA Cup games. We're going to be live at 10 p.m. tomorrow to preview the Champions League with Alfie on the GVO show with some special guests. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.